One
Oh, I
no
can't
trouble.
bid a diamond, that's right, one no trouble.
Can't stop clubs. Don't bid a no trouble, you can't stop the opponent's suit. That's just asking for trouble.
You mean spades? Can't stop spades?
The opponents bid clubs,
Oh,
they open
this
the
is
club.
this person. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That.
The opponent opened the club, and you can't stop clubs.
I thought you were doing this one.
Oh.
Your partner overcalled a spade.
No trouble. Oh, yeah, just
This hand, you should bid two diamonds.
really.
Yes, really. This is not the same thing as your partner opened a spade and you bid two diamonds. It's not the same thing. It's completely different. It would be more clear cut here. To bid two diamonds. But you should still bid two diamonds with this. About that. Yeah, with that you should bid two spades. Does that bother anybody?
Do that all the time.
With that you should pass. That's about the best hand you should have in the pass. Okay? How about one spade?
Yeah, that's what I did.
That's very, very wrong.
Oh, one page wrong.
One spade is very, very wrong. When your partner overcalls, they said they had a definite preference to play in this suit. When you bid another suit, you're saying, well, I think my suit's probably better than yours. Is that what you think? If you bid one spade, and your partner has that, the opponent opened the club, you bid a heart with that, right? Now if it goes past and your partner bids a spade, you should pass. Your partner thinks spades is better than hearts. And do you have any reason to say no?
No.
That's why you don't bid one spade with them.
But you were just doing it to show me that four.
That doesn't show full. It says, I think my spades are better than your hearts. It doesn't show full. It's not the same thing as pass, one heart, pass, one spade. Responding to an opening bid is not the same thing as responding to an overcall. In fact, they don't even call it responding to an overcall. It's advancing an overcall. So you don't make the same bid. If your partner opens a heart and you bid one spade, you might have this. Well, and something else. Maybe a king over here. You might have that, right? So when your partner opens a heart and you bid one spade, you could have anywhere from 6 points to 20 points. And you might have a bad 4-card suit, and you might have a 7-card suit. You can have almost anything, because if your partner opens a heart and you bid a spade, your partner can't pass. Right? They can't pass because you could have a 4-card suit, you could have 18 points. Now your partner would look kind of silly if they passed, right? So when you respond to spade to an opening bid, you might have 6 points, you might have 20 points, you might have a 4-card suit.
You're not denying support for hearts when you do that, are you?
No. You're not denying support for hearts. And your suit could be 4 bad or 7 good ones. Your hand could be 6 points or it could be 20 points. But advancing an overcall is completely different. It's not the same thing. When you advance an overcall, when your partner overcalls a suit and you bid a new suit, you need a good suit. So you have a good suit. You're not crazy about your partner's suit. Does your partner have to bid if it goes a club, a heart, pass, a spade? No, they're not forced to bid. So if they're not forced to bid, your range is about 7 to 12 at the most. The most you can have is 12 because your partner can pass. See how much difference there is between an opening bid of a heart and one spade as opposed to an overcall of a heart and now one spade? They're vastly different. A one spade response to an opening bid could be 6 points or 20 points. And it can be a bad suit or a good suit. And one spade is forcing. But if they open and your partner overcalls, now one spade bid is not forcing. It shows less than an opening bid. It shows a dislike for your partner's suit in a good suit. Hence, your partner should be passing with a hand like this when you bid a spade. And if your partner's going to pass with this, you don't want to be bidding a spade when your partner overcalls a heart. Right?
You did no trump with that one.
With that one, you can bid a no trump.
If they do a high.
If your partner overcalled a heart, you want a club or a diamond, your partner bid a heart, you could bid a no trump with this.
But you didn't have the king of clubs. You say the diamond, this may be an ace, but you have your 8 points, but you don't have the king of clubs for the change.
Like that.
Yeah, and that's what you respond. You don't have clubs strong.
Well, with that, I would pass. Much as I don't like it. With that, I would be 2 hearts. With that, I would pass 1 heart.
Can you bid one heart or one club? Do you need about 12, generally speaking? If you didn't have the queen of clubs, could you still bid a heart there?
Yeah, that'd be close.
Because,
That's about the worst hand you can have.
oh,
Now, when we talk about how much you need to overcall a heart, we're talking about when you're not on a passed hand. If it started out pass, 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 1 club, you should bid 1 heart with that. You should. If you've already passed, now you can't have a good hand, can you? So now your partner doesn't need to strain to keep the bidding going. There's an upper limit to how strong your hand is. Now you can overcall once you've passed. Okay? There's a big difference between being on a passed hand and being on an unpassed hand. From an unpassed hand, if this one opened a club or a diamond, that's nowhere near a 1 heart bid. Okay? But once you're on a passed hand, you can do a lot of things once you've passed that you can't do if you're on an unpassed hand.
Yeah, the ace, king, 5th, and they open the club, would you overcall heart?
No.
No? You don't
You
want
want to change this to a king? And now the dealer opens a club, should you bid a heart? The answer is absolutely not. If you bid a heart with this, your partner will never know what to do. You can say, well, they can Q bid and find out how good my hand is. But if they Q bid, is that a minimum hand? Sure it is. You're going to bid this hand the same way you would if this were 8. If you start overcalling with nothing but 5 hearts the ace king, and you're not on a passed hand, your partner will never know what to do. And you can say, well, I overcalled to get the lead. That's excuse me. That's excuse people for overcalling with hands like that. But when you overcall hands like that and you get in the wrong spot, it's always your partner's fault, right? It's really not, but your partner gets blamed. A long time ago, when I first started playing, I read something by Edgar Kaplan that made a whole lot of sense. What he said was, if you don't have an opening bid, you should jump to 2. Make a jump over goal. And if your suit is such that you're afraid to bid 2, then you have no business bidding at all. So you don't overcall with this, but if you had this over one club, you could bid 2 arms. One club, you can bid 2 arms. If you're afraid to bid 2 arms, you should pass. Okay? Don't be bidding 1 heart on the edge like that. You're just fighting a losing battle.
But if you're past 10,
If you're past hand, you should always overcall a heart.
Without that 10, you just pass.
I might bid a heart without the 2 if I was on a past hand.
But what about the jumping to 2 hearts, 6 without the 10?
6 on you. She means me 6.
Maybe you have a queen here, maybe you don't. Or a king. But that's the low end of the jump to 2 hearts.
As a past hand.
No, we're not past it. We're jumping to 2 hearts. It's not near a 1 heart bid, but you can jump to 2 hearts. Now when you start jumping, look at the vulnerability.
Yeah.
The vulnerability matters when you're jumping. It's like the other day, somebody asked me how strong an unusual motron should be. Well, look at the vulnerability. If the opponents are vulnerable and you're not, you can change this down to a jack if you wanted to. You can still bid 2 hearts. At equal vulnerability, maybe you should have, let's say, with neither side vulnerable, maybe you should have.
So you jump to 2 with less than 7 points?
They call it weak jump responses,
No, but I thought,
or preemptive. That's what this is, it's preemptive. So with this, over 1 club, you can bid 2 arms. But don't bid 1 arm, because it's a long ways from a 1 arm.
The 2 hearts, if you open that,
No, I wouldn't open up 2 arms.
just on the responses.
But pay attention to the vulnerability when you're making these weak jump responses. It's the same thing as Michael's cue and the unusual no term, bids that show 2 suits. The all important thing is vulnerability.
Would you, if you were opening hand with King Queen, and not the King of Clubs, just King Queen 6, would you?
That would be a 2 arm.
Okay.
You could open 2 hearts and say,
That's an opening 2 hard bid.
but if the opponent's open and you're going to be overcalling, you can jump to 2 hearts with that. But don't do it if you're vulnerable and they're not. When you're vulnerable and they're not, preempting is not a good idea. It's the same idea if you're going to open 3 hearts or 3 spades, especially 3 spades. Be real careful about opening 3 spades when you're vulnerable and they're not. Because if they double and leave it in because they don't have anything to bid, all they have to do is set you 2. Maybe just 1. So be real careful preempting when you're vulnerable. And a little bit careful when both sides are vulnerable. You ought to tailor your preempts a little bit the same way. When you're vulnerable and they're not, your preempts ought to be real solid. And then with both sides vulnerable, they need to be kind of solid. With nobody vulnerable, they can be pretty weak. If they're vulnerable and you're not, they can be awful. Yeah. But look at the vulnerability before you preempt. And a jump over call is the same thing as preempt, the same idea. Main thing is when your partner overcalls, you're advancing an overcall, and it's completely different from responding to an opening bid. When you respond to an opening bid, unless you bid a no trump or raise your partner's suit, your partner's going to bid again. But when your partner overcalls and you bid a new suit, your partner is likely not going to bid again. That's why you don't bid a 4-card suit after an overcall, but you do after an opening bid. It's because after an opening bid, your partner's not going to leave you. If they've overcalled and you wind up bidding a 4-card suit, you could very likely play it opposite too small. And that doesn't work well. So don't be bidding a new suit on 4 of it when your partner overcalls. Okay? You can raise with a doubleton if you have to. But if you have a real minimum raise and a doubleton and no good suit, just pass. The better your hand is, the more you should try to find a bid of something. But don't find bidding a 4-card suit. That's not a good option. Okay? Still got it. No questions? Just remember, an overcall is not the same thing as an opening.